So I'm just going to show you Microsoft Forms. Now this is a really nice, free, simple to use tool if you do need to capture data from clients, whether that be internal or external. It doesn't really matter as long as you've got the right settings turned on, that anyone can keep capture forms. So this could be things like support requests. So for example, is one I created earlier. It might be you just need a simple request for people to log faults, for example, if people can't do that by just walking over to you, etc. It could be customers, it could be order forms, you name it, right? Really, it's a simple way to get data. Now, once again, this isn't meant to be enterprise standard. It's a way for you to create nice, simple, elegant, easy to use forms, but they would need to be plumbed in if you did want to put those into a bigger company's kind of system. So I'll just show you how you go and create those. You go to forms.office.com. You will need obviously an Office 365 license for that, and then you just click on new form, and then it starts off with this template. So you give it a name. In this instance here, it might be feedback request, right? So I'm just going to put the name in there, and you can give it a description. So here you can give feedback. You've then got the option to change the buttons, also the questions that are asked as well. So if I may want to ask a multiple choice question. So how was our service? And then you can add some options. So it might be good. And you can see here it actually starts making recommendations. So it could be like poor. Very poor, and those are your options there. You then add another question, so that's choice questions. You can also add text, so who was the agent we had. You just pop someone's name in there. You can make all of these fields mandatory fields. You can make long answer if they need a bit more text in there. Likewise, you can put dates in there as well. What was the date of your call? So that's all quite simple. And then once you've done your form, it's pretty much ready to go. So you need to do a couple of things if you want to share that with external people. What you need to do is the first thing I would do is just test your form here. So click on preview. You can actually test what it will be like for a user to actually fill that in. If you click on the mobile button at the top as well, you'll also see what it looks like on a mobile device. So super important to test those forms out. If you click on back, it takes you to the edit version of the form. Then what I would then do is if you click theme up here, you've got the option to go and create a nice professional background. So for this one here, it's performance feedback. So if I click on that, it's added a nice background there. So when a user clicks here, they can go and add, they can go and fill it in. It looks quite professional. Alternatively, you can select colors. So if you click on the little plus sign here, you can see you've got the ability to upload your own image. That could be your logos, or you can go and add your own RGB color. So if you've got your corporate guidelines, then you can just pop those in there and it will apply your corporate colors. So you can do quite a bit with this. The other thing you're going to want to do is if you click on the little three dots up here, you've got settings, right? So if you click on settings, you can then change who can fill that in. So at the moment, the default is set to only people in your organization. So if you do want customers or external users to be able to fill this form in, you just have to click on that. Anyone can respond. And then options for responses, you can do things like customizing the thank you message. You can say, thank you for your response. We will be in touch. You can shuffle the questions around. You can send an email to respondents. So if, for example, you wanted to get this to someone who needs to get an email back, you can do that. You can also only get that if you record someone's name and it's internal only. So that email receipt is only for internal use. But you can also get an email notification for each response as well. So every time someone goes and responds to that, you could get an email. So it's really important, obviously, you get the person's email address in the request. There are some additional things you can do with that. once you've created the form. But I think the key thing is really just to play around with it and see what works for you. Once the form's good to go, I would say test it. Test it with some alias email addresses, different logins. But once you're ready to go, you click the share button. And you can do a couple of things. Now, one thought I really like here is this QR code. Okay, so what that will mean is that anyone who goes to point their camera at that particular QR code, it will actually just open up and it opens up the form straight away. So you could have that on your website, you can have it on a printed form, etc. Where people just don't need to have to find the URL. There's that option. You can email it, so if you need to email it out to people. But the easiest way to do it is what you do is you go to the link, you click copy. And then you literally send that link on to your users, or you pop it onto your website or whatever. If you do want to get people to collaborate on that, add forms and get other people, you can click on this link here, and you can share that with your colleagues who can then add questions, make changes, etc. But generally, real nice, easy way to capture data. You can do things like embedding that onto SharePoint sites. And yeah, just a nice, easy way to capture data. Hopefully that's useful. As always, please drop me a note if you've got any questions.